Another common security issue is called cross-site scripting, and that is when you allow the user to input HTML or JavaScript into the site directly. For example, here we have a comment form, and you can add comments here. Submit a comment, and now I'm not actually escaping the HTML out of this, so that means that this is vulnerable to cross-site scripting. Let me show you that. You can add a script tag here, maybe make an alert. This allows you to input JavaScript directly into this website because you add a comment, and here we got our alert message because we're displaying this page. So if we reload this page, we get our alert message again because we're just displaying that comment with the script. So if you look at our HTML here, you can see that we allowed our user to add a comment with the script tag, and we aren't escaping this, so it's actually interpreted when the user loads the page. People can do some very bad things with this. For example, let's do another thing. You can grab cookies from other users on the site. So, got your cookies. Let's add another script here, and let me just do an alert for the document cookie. And so now when we add this comment, well, first we get our alert message again, but then we get another alert, which is displaying the cookie information, the session ID for the user that's browsing the site. Now, displaying it in an alert message isn't that bad, but you can actually use JavaScript to send that session ID to another site. So the attacker might do that. That way they get everyone's session ID who visits this page, and they aren't even aware of it because the hacker probably won't be nice enough to display it in an alert message. So they can grab everyone's session ID just who browses the site, and then they can come back and assume their identity with their session ID. So to avoid this problem, you need to escape input over variables that you want to display. So here we have our comments here. We're looping through our comments, and we're displaying the comment content. Right now we're just displaying the raw data inside the database, but you should escape this so that it avoids that problem. You can do that with the H method, and that will actually escape the HTML from this. So let's take a look at that. Now when we reload this page, the script tags are displayed here because they're escaped instead of the HTML. You can see the greater and less than signs are escaped. So that way it's not interpreted as HTML and just displayed directly. That's a really good way to go if you ever accept user data that goes directly into the database and you display it back again on the page. Another method is called a sanitize, and that does something very similar. It escapes the script tags and the form tags and a few other things, but it's not quite as thorough because it doesn't escape every HTML tag, and I don't consider it as secure, so it's better to go with the H method. And right now we're actually inputting the data inside the database, and now whenever we need to display it, we have to escape it. Another approach some people like to take is to escape the data before it goes into the database. And you can do that in the controller if you want. And you can't use the H method because that's only available to the view. But you can use the CGI escape HTML method and just input whatever you want in here, and that will output the HTML escaped version, so you can escape user input on the controller side as well. I like just to prefer to escape it on the view side because I don't like putting HTML escaped data directly into the database because I may want to display it someplace else other than HTML. If you tried playing your Railscast episode on your iPod or Apple TV, you probably realized you can't. It doesn't work. And that's because I'm using a codec which doesn't play on those devices. But fear not, because I have added an alternative download, which is H.264, which will play on both the iPod and the Apple TV. So if you go to railscast.com, you can find the alternative download there, and so you can play it on those devices. Also, you can subscribe to the iPod RSS feed on the right side. It's currently not available at iTunes Store, but in a few days it should be up.